Advertise with HMU. Are you looking for an easy and affordable way to get your business out there? Why not advertise right here? HMU is looking for sponsors, and starting as low as $40 a month, your business could be featured right here. Our sponsors help us cover programs just like this one, and thanks to their support, we're now able to broadcast Cyclone sports, concerts, and more live on both HLTV, Channel 15, and YouTube. So what are you waiting for? Call 755-5182 and ask for Jonathan, or email jnorth@hmunet.com and ask for more information today.
At United Bank of Iowa, the difference is here. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 59 and Pine Street in Harlan, you'll always find a smiling face to greet you and help you with all your banking needs. We offer competitive rates on deposits and loans, and the latest in technology with our online and mobile products. Come and find out for yourself why the difference is here at United Bank of Iowa. Member FDIC.
Looking for insurance coverage at competitive rates? As an independent agency, we are not tied to one insurance company. We work for you, the agency, located right across from City Hall.
How do you game? Do you shoot your shot? Do you go for the goal? Or throw the high cheese? Whatever you do, our goal at Mertu Physical Therapy is to keep you in the game. Mertu Physical Therapy. Game on.
At Polly Jones Funeral Home, compassion is our foundation. As a proud family-owned and operated business, we understand that during times of loss, empathy and understanding make all the difference. Our dedicated professionals, rooted in family values, are here to answer your calls and address your questions and concerns. With 3 locations in Harlan, Avoca, and Denison, we're available whenever and wherever you need us to provide customized services for every family we serve. Polly Jones Funeral Home, proudly serving our communities for over 90 years.
Cyclone Seed and Chemical is your one-stop shop for all your agronomy inputs. Whether it's seeds, chemicals, fertilizers, or custom application, the staff at Cyclone Seed will work hard for your business. When you work with Cyclone Seed and Chemical, you'll have to build a bigger bin.
Listen to 105.3 KNOD. KNOD covers local, state, and world news. KNOD covers your favorite local high school sports, the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Chicago Cubs. KNOD covers Brownfield Ag News programs. KNOD plays the hits you want to hear from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. KNOD has great advertising rates for your business. Call 800-876-KNOD for more info. 105.3 KNOD.
At Keist Auto Center, it's our mission to be the automotive home of Ford, Chevy, and GMC drivers in Southwest Iowa. Conveniently located just off Highway 59 in Harlan, we provide a vast selection of new and used vehicles, exceptional car care, and always deliver customer service with a smile. As your hometown auto dealer, we strive to make every transaction an easy one. Call or stop by today to get in touch with a member of our team and let us know how we can serve you today. Keist Auto Center, proudly serving Southwest Iowa for over 31 years.
Cyclone Lanes in Harlan is your total family fun entertainment center. Known for our homemade buttercrust pizza, we also offer great burgers and a variety of other sandwiches and sides, all available to eat in or carry out. Cyclone Lanes is available for birthday parties, company outings, and church youth groups. Laser bowling starts on Friday and Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. We invite you to come enjoy some fun family entertainment and great food at Cyclone Lanes in Harlan.
If you grill it, he will come.
Hey.
Hey.
Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
Coverage of the 2025 Shelby County Fair has been brought to you by
Pizza Ranch in Harlan, Do It Best Hardware, The Agency in Harlan, Hamilton Financial Services,
Fairway in Harlan,
Western Iowa Medical in Harlan,
Peterson Family Wellness Center and Lewis Family Aquatic Complex. Live well.
Murtu Medical Center, Physical Therapy and Rehab Services.
Hanson House Senior Living. Experience life, experience Hanson House.
Dr. J's Family Eye Care, longtime supporter of Cyclone Sports in Harlan.
Family Service Community, SCSB.
Keast Auto Center, proudly serving Southwest Iowa for over 31 years.
Paulie Jones Funeral Home, longtime supporter of Harlan Community Athletics and events.
Cyclone Seed and Chemical, build a bigger bin.
Conducting Swampler is a proud supporter of the Harlan community, education, and student activities. We move your business forward.
United Bank of Iowa, the difference is here, member FDIC.
Cyclone Lanes, great family entertainment, including bowling, sandwiches, and homemade buttercrust pizzas.
How do you top Pizza Ranch's legendary cheesy ranch sticks? Any way you want. Get a load of these. Our new loaded cheesy ranch sticks are now topped with an extra layer of flavor, skillet crust, melty cheese, herbs and spices, and up to 2 of your favorite toppings. They're the ultimate appetizer on the buffet or on the go. Don't you just love that new menu item smell? Pizza Ranch.
Our judge today is Cade Bracker. He's coming from Tonganoxie, Kansas, originally from Underwood, Iowa. He's had a lifelong passion for livestock and agriculture in his career and his family operation. He grew up on his family farm growing row crops and cattle, and that's where his love of livestock began. So we're happy for him to be here today. I'll tell you a little bit more about him throughout the show.
really nice way to go ahead and start off this haltered show, and a really high quality individual that goes ahead and leads off this market heifer division. Just a really stout, powerful type of calf, really square from the ground up. Really like how this one draws back from her shoulder into her forerib, into her midrib there. Just a lot of power in that one. Would maybe like to see her with a few more days on feed just to really get her finished and dialed in here, but the young lady said she's going on to Exarban and going to get showed on past here. So just again, in her own right, a really nice market animal that's got some cover to her. She's got plenty of muscle and product in her. Looks good doing it. Congratulations to that young lady. Young man's heifer coming out here next is a really sound individual, really practical in her typing kind and build. A little light, I'd say, for going to harvest here again, as well as we are in this first class of market heifers, but just a nice calf, just needs a little bit more punch and squareness to her to compete with the heifer in front of her. But nice class of market heifers. Let's give them a round of applause, please.
Congratulations, Kendra Robinson has the first place lightweight market heifer, and Reagan Christensen in second. Now we're going to bring into the ring the middleweight class. This consists of Marianne Jewell, Jake Wagaman, and McKinley Boyk. So these are your middleweight market heifers. A little bit more about our judge today, Cade Bracker. He began his own cattle herd through active involvement with the Iowa Junior Simmental Association and the American Junior Simmental Association. As a junior exhibitor, he competed on the national level and served as a member of the AJSA Board of Trustees. Experiences that helped shape his leadership skills and deepen his commitment to the industry. He is a graduate of Iowa State University, where he earned a degree in animal science and competed as a member of the ISU livestock judging team. Today he works as a grain merchandiser and co-operates Bracker Livestock alongside his wife Jody and their family. Together they raise Simmental and Angus seed stock and show cattle with a continued focus on performance, genetics, and youth involvement. So we thank Kate for being here today to judge our market beef show.
an interesting class as we get into this second class of market heifers here. And to be honest, there's a little bit I'd like to tweak about each one of these animals, just in terms of their structure. So from there, it really turns to how these cattle look at the standstill and how they're designed from the profile, and actually getting in and handling them, and understanding their body shape and where they've got muscle and where they've got finish. And for me, the young man's smoke heifer that goes ahead and wins the class, I think does so fairly comfortably. From this side, she's the best in her design in terms of balance, very proportional from nose to tail. You step in and handle her, she's got plenty of shape at the top side of her skeleton. Really like how this one's designed, and on her underline there. Would maybe like to see her travel just a little bit more comfortably off those rear two. She kind of tends to knuckle up off of her pasterns there. Just like to see her take a longer, fuller stride and more comfortable stride. But just in terms of composition and quality, that's the one that I like out here today. Young lady's black heifer out here. He is a stout individual that's got muscle, and she's got some finish to her and some cover. But for me, I'd like to see this one balance up a little bit better as we study her from the side profile. Maybe elevate her in her chest floor a little bit, and give her a touch of flank. But for in terms of structure, I'd like to lean this one back in the angle of her shoulder and set her back in her knee just so she can get out a little bit more comfortably. I'd like to also see her just with a little longer hip and maybe turn a little bit more shape in through that lower stifle in terms of her muscling, but a nice calf to go ahead and go second for that young lady. Unfortunately, the young lady's smoke calf that goes ahead and rounds out the class is maybe the one that I prefer the most in terms of structure. This one gets around the ring fairly well. I like her design good enough up through her front end. Would maybe like to see her travel off of her rear two a little bit more comfortably. She tends to knuckle over on those rear two pasterns, and just a really nice look up through her front end. For me, I just need to see this one with a few more days on feed, maybe a little bit more efficient in terms of her feed conversion, and maybe pushed a little harder. But again, a nice heifer to go ahead and go third in this class. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause, please.
Congratulations to Jake Wagaman. He was first in the middleweight class, and second went to McKinley Boyd, and third went to Marianne Jewell. Now we're going to bring in the heavyweight class. So we have Henry Shaven and Landon Nissen with heavyweight market heifers. After this class, we'll be deciding the overall market heifers, so the first and second from the previous two classes can stick around until we conclude the judging of this class. We have royalty here in the ring with us today, the Shelby County Fair Queen. She's helping us hand out ribbons and banners today, so I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, good morning everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming out to the beef show today. My name is Brooklyn Buck. My parents are Aaron Buck and Brian Burnt. I have been involved in 4-H and FFA my whole life. This fall, I plan to attend Kansas State University to major in athletic training and rehabilitation sciences. And I just want to thank everyone for all their continuous support for all these kids out here because they worked hard all year to come to this show today. Thank you.
Thank you.
As she said, we do have a really good crowd here this morning, so thank you all for being here and supporting these kids.
Two really nice individuals out here as we finish up this last class of market heifers, and I think there's maybe some sort when these cattle first hit the ring, but as you study them, I think they kind of sort themselves out. Young man's heifer, just from a pure body standpoint and shape standpoint, has the advantage in this class for me. First, you step back and view that one from the side profile. Definitely balances out better from the side and proportions a lot better in that aspect. Also gives you a lot fresher, cleaner look up through that front end. Really attractive quality animal there. But then you start to view the cattle from a 3/4 view. Really appreciate the amount of rib shape that she has, an outward turn, especially in the center portion of her body. She's got some productive rib shape there, step in and handle her. She's a lot more consistent in how she carries her shape, especially out of the back side of her shoulder. A really nice quality market animal there for that young man. Not to take away from the young man's heifer coming out here in second, because on first glance she is the big-ended calf that's got some power. But you kind of start to study her, maybe like to see her a little bit truer and more honest in the rib shape that she's got. I'd like to see her with just a touch more center body there to help her balance out from the side profile. And when you actually step in and handle this one, she reads a little bit flatter in terms of her center portion of her body. Would like to see her just a touch bolder in how she's built in that rib shape there. And would maybe like to see her with just a touch more foot and bone in comparison to the power that she's got on each end of her skeleton. But two really nice market heifers there. Let's give them a round of applause. We'll see them back for Champion Drive.
Congratulations to Landon Nissen. He was first in the class with a purple, and Henry Shaven second in the class with a purple. Now we're going to do our overall grand champion market heifer drive. So coming into the ring, we have our first lightweight heifer. And then we have our middleweight heifers. Lightweight was exhibited by Kendra Robinson, and middleweight was exhibited by Jake Wagaman. Then the heavyweight was exhibited by Landon Nissen. And then the seconds in those classes was Reagan Christensen with the second place lightweight market heifer. And then second in middleweight was McKinley Boyd. And then second in heavyweight was Henry Shaven. So this is for overall grand champion market heifer. The trophy sponsor for this is Titan Machinery, and the reserve grand champion market heifer trophy sponsor was Farm Service Co-op. The sponsors are done at the Cattlemen's Banquet each year. They do a live auction to auction off trophies, and the money from that is then turned into scholarship funds for youth. So we appreciate the sponsors for doing that and supporting the youth in our county.
No.
Let's go ahead and give these market heifer exhibitors a round of applause, please. Just quickly going back through these cattle, young lady's heifer that wins that first class, she's maybe a little bit more compact in her design, and it maybe needs some more days on feed, but recognizing that and just studying cattle for cattle, I like that one quite a bit. Maybe like to change her head design a little bit, freshen her up in that aspect. But shoulders back, that one's got quite a bit of power. Really like the rib shape and boldness of center body on that one. Highly presented calf out here, just from a total design aspect of quality. Look up through that front end, how she matches her foot and bone to the power that she's got. I like a lot of things about that calf. Young man spoke heifer coming out here in the second class was maybe the stoutest of the whole drive, and that one's definitely got the best back shape when you step in and handle these cattle. Like the finish that she's got. But we did talk about that one and how we'd like to change some things in terms of her structure. Maybe just have her get out here and handle the surface a little bit better, take some more confident and fuller strides. But that's definitely a nice calf out here that deserves a look. Young man's heifer there, the black heifer that rounds out this lineup. Again, another really high quality individual, like a lot of things about that one. Maybe out here kind of looks a little bit more maternal than terminal, but that's not a bad thing. I think that's a nice calf. It's got some shape, she's got some look. Definitely a player out here as well. So that's kind of how I read him out here today. I'm going to take one more look, and I'll go get you a champion or reserve market heifer. Let's give these kids a round of applause.
Congratulations to Kendra Robinson. She has the Grand Champion Market Heifer. And our reserve Grand Champion Market Heifer went to Landon Nissen. Let's give these exhibitors another round of applause, please. Now we are going to move on to the market steer classes. We have two classes of lightweight market steers, and in our first class we're going to have 3 entries in that. In the ring, we're going to start with Declan Nicholson with his lightweight market steer. Then we're going to have Lillian Nicholson. And Trinity Haas. This is your first class of lightweight market steers. We have 2 classes of lightweight market steers. Our judge today is Cade Bracker from Tonganoxie, Kansas. He's originally from Underwood, Iowa. He's grown up raising in row crops and cattle his whole life, and he has continued that into his life now. He works as a grain merchandiser and cooperates Bracker Livestock alongside his wife Jody and their family. So we thank him for being here today to judge our Market View show.
An interesting class of lightweight steers as we start off the steer show, and definitely one with some diversity in terms of type and kind and breed composition and all those things. And between these top two, if you see them a little differently, I definitely listen to it. But for me, young lady's mini Hereford calf goes ahead and wins for me just in terms of composition and finish and being the one that's closest to ready out here today. You know, he's definitely not as big and heavy as a lot of these steers that we're taking to harvest. But for breed and type and kind, I think that's a pretty productive one for his for what he represents. Nice calf. He's got some finish. Young lady. These things are a little bit ornerier than a lot of people lead on. Young lady's doing a good job working with him out here. He's got some look up through his front end. He's got some shape at the top side of his skeleton. Just a nice calf to go ahead and win this class. Young lady's smoke steer that goes ahead and goes second is probably more type and kind what a lot of us are used to looking at. He's some Charolais influence there. He's got some muscle, he's got some shape. For me, I'd like to see this one with a few more days on feed just to really get finished. And especially, I'd like to see him a little bit bolder and squarer out of the back side of his shoulder. He gets a little plain back there when you step in and handle him. But a nice calf there for that young lady to go ahead and go second. Young man's calf that rounds out the class is the black calf. He's definitely a sound calf. He's got plenty of advantages in terms of structure and foot quality. Just need to see him with some more days on feed to really get him ahead of those cattle. But a nice calf there. Let's go ahead and give these exhibitors a round of applause, please.
First in that class was Lillian Nicholson, and second went to Trinity Haas. And that was our first class of lightweight market steers. Now we're going to bring into the ring the second class of lightweight market steers with Reagan Robinson and Brody Nissen. And this is going to be our last class of lightweight market steers. We'll bring the first class back in to pick our overall lightweight market steer.
An interesting class of steers here, and if you see these two again differently on ringside, I'd definitely listen to it, because I think there's definitely a lot of things that need to be mentioned about both these cattle, just in terms of the spectrum of soundness and structure, and also product and muscle and things like that. So here's how I see him. Young man's calf coming out here definitely has the advantage in terms of power and mass. He's the big-ended calf. It's got good body shape, plenty of shape at the top side of his skeleton, turns plenty of muscle down in through his lower quarter there. When both of these cattle hit the ring, they've kind of got some similar issues in terms of structure. They're maybe both a little bit more upright in terms of their shoulder, maybe need to ease up and loosen them up in their spine to really make them travel comfortably. But where I see this one is maybe problematic is how he's designed out of his front knee there. You maybe need to set him back in the angle of his knee just to really feel comfortable with this one. But in terms of the extra power and mass and substance that this calf has, and quality that this calf has over the young lady's Hereford calf, that's where he gets the edge for me. As we talked about this young lady's Hereford steer, he does have some things that we need to change in terms of structure, like to lean him back in the angle of his shoulder, maybe make him more comfortable how he rotates out of his hip, so he can handle that top line a little bit more comfortably. But for me, he just gets out-horsed by a big stout one. A nice Hereford calf there, just need to see some more muscle and punch there. That's how I read him. Let's give these young people a round of applause.
Congratulations, Brody Nissen, he had the first in that class, and Reagan Robinson second, both with purple ribbons. Now we're going to do the selection of the champion and reserve champion lightweight market market steers. So first coming into the ring, we have Lillian Nicholson from the first class, and then Brody from this recent class. And then second in the classes, we had Trinity Haas and Reagan Robinson. So this is for the champion lightweight market steer.
As we get these lightweight cattle out here to reevaluate for your champion lightweight, I think we again need to talk about the differences just in terms of type and kind, breed influence that we see out here. Young ladies, Mini Hereford calf, he's definitely got enough power and stoutness to represent his breed out here. He's got good finish, definitely a nice calf out here that deserves a look. Young man's smoke steer that won that second class. Again, is the kind of borderline in terms of structure. He's getting around the ring, I'll call it good enough out here today, but definitely need to talk about some of those issues that we see just in terms of how his skeleton's organized. Young lady smoke calf that goes second in that first class. A nice calf that's designed well. Just need to see him with a little bit more finish and better feet conversion out here, and just a little bit more pop and squareness at the top side of his skeleton. But a nice calf there. And rounding out the lineup, we've got that young lady's Hereford calf that came second in that second class. Again, a nice calf. We talked about some of that one's issues that I saw in terms of structure. Just need to see that one with a little bit more stoutness again. But a nice group of cattle here. I'll take one more look at them and get you a champion reserve lightweight.
Congratulations to Brody Nissen. He is the champion lightweight market steer. The trophy sponsor for that was Todd Arnholtz. And our reserve champion lightweight market steer went to Lillian Nicholson, and our sponsor for that one was Shaven Insurance. Please give them a round of applause. Now we are going to move on to middleweight market steers. And we should be bringing into the ring 5 entries in this class. Okay. We have Reese Anderson. Kayla Youngkin, being helped out by Lane Larson. We have Landon Nissen, and we have Sienna Michaels. Do we have Linda Arkfeld? This is our only class of middleweight, so whoever wins this one will be our overall middleweight as well.
A really nice set of middleweight cattle. It'd be nice to sort through another class of these because I like things about all these cattle. But to me, young ladies smoked calf that goes ahead and wins this class just really comes out and does it in pretty recognizable fashion. First and foremost, when you study this calf from the 3/4 view and just see how stout he is and square he is at the top side of his skeleton, and see how he matches that shape consistently out of the back side of his blade there and through the lower portion of his rib. He's really square and honest and true in that aspect. Turns plenty of shape in through his lower quarter there. Looks good from the side, really high quality individual. If you want to critique on him a little bit, maybe just like to freshen him up a touch, but a little extra cover, I don't mind at this stage of the game. That's a nice calf to go ahead and win that class. Like a lot of things about this young man's Brockle face calf, and I don't want to take away from him because I do think this is a high quality individual. He's really extended up through that front end, sends his neck out of the top side of his shoulder. He's got plenty of shape and squareness across his back. Maybe just needs a few more days on feed to really get finished and be 12 o'clock. Like the freshness of hair coat and presentation on him. But compared to the calf in front of him, maybe just doesn't have as much true muscle and squareness and shape at the base of his rib. But again, a nice quality calf. I think that one's got a nice future. Young lady's calf that is coming in here in third just really runs into two really high quality show steers in front of her. Not to take away from this calf because this is a big back calf. He's got plenty of bone. Like a lot of things about him, he balances up fairly well from the side. Maybe just like to see him match in terms of his muscle, the amount of squareness and shape that he has at the top side of his skeleton, and translate that into a little bit more shape and through his lower leg there. But a nice calf to go third. And a little bit type and kind that comes out and rounds out the class. A good productive style of calf, maybe just doesn't have the exotic muscle and shape that the calves in front of him do, but a nice one that's productive and a good kind of cattle to round out the class. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
Congratulations to Sienna Michaels. She had the champion middleweight market steer, and that trophy sponsor was Cogdale Farm Supply. And our reserve champion middleweight market steer went to Landon Nissen, and that trophy sponsor was Tom's Grain and Electric. So now we're ready to move on to the heavyweight class 1 market steers. So coming into the ring, we should have McKinley Boyd. And then we have Scarlett Nissen. Then Jada Youngkin. And Katie Johnson. So we have 4 entries in our first class of heavyweight market steers: McKinley Boyd, Scarlett Nissen, Jada Youngkin, and Katie Johnson. We have 2 classes of heavyweight market steers, so we'll have a class after this one.
Again, an interesting class as we get into these heavyweight cattle, but for me, the handle is the young lady's Peach Roan steer. Just in terms of the one that's kind of the total combination package of having a stout, cool-looking show steer look and well-balanced from the side, getting out and motoring around the ring very confidently and athletically, stepping in and having some product and shape. I think that's the one that you really need to tie to in this class. Just a really nice calf. Go ahead and win this class. Congratulations to that young lady. From there, I think there's definitely some sort and conversation, and depending where your priorities lie, you might see these a little bit differently, but for me, the young lady's blaze face steer out here just follows that calf next in line in terms of being one that's got some look, got some shape, and is sound and flexible. This is maybe one of the more progressively finished calves in the class. Again, I don't mind that, and I think this is a pretty good looking rascal, especially if you look through the hair and kind of put a clip job on this one. He's got some shape, maybe not quite as explosive out of the backside of his shoulder, but definitely plenty enough muscle. He's got some bone, really athletic and flexible out here as well. Nice calf to go second. This is kind of the problem child of the class for me, because I think when these cattle kind of first hit the ring, you want to call that the really cool looking show steer of the class, and he is that. He's got plenty of shape at the top side of his skeleton, works a big ribeye there. But for me, this one is just kind of a little bit too straight off both ends. I'd like to see him with more flex out of his hock, a little bit more correct angle of his out of his front end, maybe soften him up through the center portion of his body, give him a little bit more productive look, but a nice calf with some quality up through that front end to go third. And rounding out the class again is the young lady's more Angus appearing calf. He's a good productive typing kind. He definitely gets out and moves around the ring well, and he looks like he's had some productive days on feed. Maybe just doesn't quite have the muscle as we read him, and some of those indicators is the cattle that go in front of him. But a nice good calf to go ahead and round out the class. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
First in Class 1 heavyweight market steers went to McKinley Boyd, and second went to Katie Johnson. Now we're going to bring into the ring the second class of heavyweight market steers. So we have Leo Shaven, Landon Nissen, and Brody Nissen. So this is our second class of heavyweight market steers. After this, we'll pick our overall heavyweight market steers, and then we'll bring in all the champion reserves from the lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight for our final drive.
a nice class of really nice heavyweights to go ahead and round out the classes of steers. Young man's calf that sorts to the top for me, I think does so fairly handily. That's a decent looking one that balances out well from the side. Definitely has plenty of muscle and gets around the ring really well. He's just kind of the total package here for me in this class. Nice one to go ahead and win this class. I think the interesting one again is the calf that comes out here in second, because he is the hot, tall-fronted one that's got some shape up top. He's big-ended, but definitely need to soften him up in the center portion of his body and relax him in how he's built off of both ends. But a nice calf there to go ahead and go second. A really highly presented one as well. And young man's red steer that goes ahead and rounds out this class is, again, a good kind of cattle. And young man, I think if you keep raising that kind, you'll have a really successful career in this industry, because that's a good, productive calf. He's got some good finish. He's got enough muscle, just maybe not quite as exotic in terms of his shape. But again, a nice set of calves there. Let's give these young people a round of applause, please.
Congratulations, Landon Nissen was first in that heavyweight class, and second went to Brody Nissen, all three receiving purple ribbons. Now we're going to decide our overall heavyweight market steer. So we need to bring back in McKinley Boyd from the first class. And then Landon will go there from the second class. And then Katie Johnson is making her way to the ring. She was second in the first class. And then we'll pull in Birdie Nissen, who is second in the second class. So this is for overall champion heavyweight market steer.
I'll go ahead and talk through these cattle out here as we evaluate them for your champion heavyweight. Young lady's Petrone steer that wins that first class. We talked about him really being the complete package in terms of a quality animal that's attractive up through his front end, balances extremely well from the side profile. Really love the body shape on this one and his consistency in shape as he step in and handle him. A sound calf, just a lot of really good things to say about that animal. Definitely needs a look out here. Young man's calf that wins that second class, again, he was the one that did carry a lot of those ESTs in terms of quality and soundness and structure in that class. Again, like a lot of things about him, maybe in comparison to the calf that wins the first class, would like to lengthen him up through that front end and give him a shot of flank there just to help him balance a little bit better. But again, a good solid black steer that's got some shape and some power and a lot of good product in him. Young lady's Blaze Face steer that goes second in that first class. Again, we talked about that one maybe being a little bit deceiving, because I do think this is a quality animal that's got some attractive look to him. Maybe not quite as we'll say put together and elevated in that chest floor, but he's definitely got some power to him, gets around the ring really well, and those are some things I like about him. Young man's calf that rounds out the lineup out here. We talked about that one being a big topped, big ended calf that's definitely got some look, and if we could tweak him in terms of the structure, I think there's a good argument to take him all the way to the top. But for me, he's maybe just a little bit too straight and restricted off both ends. That's something we need to keep talking about in these market animals. But a really competitive lineup out here. I'll take one more look and show you how I like them. Let's give these kids a round of applause.
Congratulations to McKinley Boyd. She has the champion heavyweight market steer. The trophy sponsor for that was Cyclone Seed and Chemical. And the reserve champion heavyweight market steer went to Landon Nissen. And the sponsor for that is Shelby County State Bank. Please give those kids a round of applause. Now we are going to be doing our selection of our grand champion market steer. So we'll be bringing back into the ring the lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight overalls. So let's see if they're getting ready here. So we'll be bringing back into the ring Brody Nissen, Lillian Nicholson, Sienna Michaels, Landon Nissen, McKinley Boyd, and also Landon Nissen with the second entry. Sorry for the delay. We had some kids having to shuffle some things around. They've been busy today. Okay, so first in the ring, we're going to have the champion lightweight market steer, and that was exhibited by Brody Nissen. And our reserve champion lightweight market steer was exhibited, this is our middleweight market steer champion, and that was Sienna Michaels. And then our heavyweight champion market steer was exhibited by McKinley Boyd. And then our reserve champion lightweight market steer went to Lillian Nicholson. And our reserve in the middleweight was Landon Nissen. And then also our reserve in the heavyweight was also Landon Nissen, and Jake Wetton is exhibiting for him. So this is for our overall grand champion market steer.
First and foremost, I want to thank you all for having me out here today and allowing me to give my opinion on these cattle. I grew up in Southwest Iowa and have gained a lot from being part of this junior program. And it's something that I take very seriously, and I take it to heart. And I want to come out here and make sure I do a good job, make sure everyone has a good experience, and call the cattle how I see them, and judge these cattle as fairly as possible. So I want to thank you all for having me out here. I'd like to thank my ring help, the Brett boys, for keeping the ring moving and keeping everything running smooth. I'd also like to thank you as a community and all the people that help these young people get out to this show ring and support these projects, because I truly believe that there is no other junior program that's as good for these kids as the livestock program. I was talking to a coworker the other day that their daughter played travel softball, and nothing against travel softball, but they started questioning me about the show cattle deal and the livestock deal. I said, there's no other junior project or industry where these cattle or these young people have the opportunity to interact with professionals in the industry and across other industries in just such a natural and informal setting, and get to know those people and create relationships that are going to last a long ways past this show ring. So I think this is a really great thing, and I applaud you all for supporting this as a community and as families as well. I'm going to go through and talk these cattle very briefly and just kind of see or let you know how I read them in comparison. Young man's smoke steer that goes ahead and wins that first division. We talked about him being the stout, powerful one that's got a show steer look. Definitely like him in terms of a composition standpoint. I do think he is a touch of a liability in terms of his structure. We need to fix him up in his knee, set him back in the angle of his shoulder, and definitely make him more flexible out of his hock. And if we could change those things, I think that's definitely a nice calf, but that's how I read him out here today. Young lady's blonde steer that goes ahead and wins that middleweight division. We talked about him just kind of being the handle in that division. He's a ground pounder out here. Really gives you that show steer look and says kind of the boys are coming. Look at that one from the 3/4 view. Just got to fall in love with that one's shape and how square he is at the top side of his skeleton, and how he carries that shape and squareness to the base of his rib. He sets down on a real good set of feet and legs, big paws on that calf. Young lady gets him set up on the profile, and he's a really high quality, balanced individual. If you want to take on him, kind of like I said, you maybe like to freshen him up, especially as you view him into his chest there and all those things. But just looking at that calf from the outside, that's a big back, square-butted calf that's got plenty of muscle and gets around the ring especially well, considering how much muscle and power and condition he has. I like that calf quite a bit. Young lady's Peach Roan steer that rounds out this lineup of class winners, again, is another one that I think is definitely in contention out here. Like that one from a design standpoint, again, from the side profile, very well balanced. Would maybe like to pick him up in his, up through his front end in comparison to some of the other cattle in the lineup. But again, a stout, sound one that's got enough shape, like the body cavity on that one and in his design. Just a nice calf out here as well. That's how I read these class winners. There's definitely one out here that I think is kind of head and shoulders above the rest in terms of quality, muscle shape, stoutness, and power. So let's give these young people a big round of applause. I'll go get you a grand champions here at the Shelby County Fair.
Congratulations, Sienna Michaels. She has the Grand Champion Market Steer. The trophy sponsor for that was United Bank of Iowa. Now we will bring into contention here for reserve Landon Nissen from the middleweight market steer class.
Young man's grapple face calf that comes in for contention out here is definitely no slouch. We talked about that one being a really cool show steer out here as well. definitely like the amount of power and look that this one offers. Would maybe like to tip him back in the angle of his shoulder ever so slightly. And we also talked about how this one's days might be, best days might be ahead of him in terms of getting a little bit more condition and finish on him on down the road. But again, a really high quality individual. But for me to follow up with our champion, young ladies Peach Round Steer is going to be reserved. Nice set of cats out there.
Congratulations, McKinley Boyd. It has the Reserve Grand Champion Market Steer, and the trophy sponsor for that was Shelby County State Bank. So congratulations, Sienna Michaels. She had the Grand Champion Market Steer, and Reserve Grand Champion Market Steer went to McKinley Boyd. Now we're going to bring back into the ring the heifers. So we had the Grand Champion Market heifer was Kendra Robinson, and the reserve was Landon Nissen. And then for Grand Champion Market Steers, we're going to bring back in Sienna Michaels and McKinley Boyd. This now is for the overall Grand Champion Market beef for today. And the winner of this will be representing us in the Best in the West Showdown, which is in Denison in a few weeks. And they will compete against 9 other county entries for the Best in the West. So a lot on the line for this right now. And we will know our champion market beef from this. So just to review, we have Kendra Robinson with the champion market heifer. And then we have the champion market steer represented by Sienna Michaels.
As we get these cattle, your 2 market champions out here to evaluate for your Supreme to go on to your shootout, I think this shootout program's an awesome thing to try and breed more competition back into these county fairs and keep people involved. I was just on the hind end of missing that at our county when I was growing up, and I wish I could have been a part of it. But it's very cool to see the amount of growth that program has had in the state of Iowa, and the amount of competition it's brought into these county fairs. And I think that's important because it's definitely one of those things where all tides raise, or ships raise, or all high tides raise all ships, or for however that saying goes. But I think that's something that we need to take into account and make sure that we're being out here competitive with each other, and we're out here trying our best, but we're also trying to be respectful of everyone else out here, and make sure that we're out here showing the best sportsmanship and trying to make everyone else better as well. So with that being said, I think this is a great lineup of market cattle. There's a lot of county fairs out here in Iowa where you'd be stressed to find 4 animals out here that are this good. So I think you should all be proud of the quality that you all have brought out here. So with that being said, I think this is a great group of cattle. Young Lady Steer is going to be your supremo here for me today. Just a really nice cow.
Congratulations, Sienna Michaels. She is the champion market beef and will be representing our county in the Best of the West Showdown.
From there, I think the conversation gets a little bit closer. Young lady's market heifer out here, she may be a little bit compact in her design and a little bit different in her maturity pattern in comparison to some of the other cattle out here. But I do think that one has a world of quality. Like the foot and bone on that one, I do think this one's best days are ahead of her. Young lady said she's planning on taking her to Exarban, and I do think that one will look pretty dang good out in that big ring in Grand Island. That's a nice calf there. young lady speech round steer. Again, we talked about that one just being extremely complete and ready to go out here today, and he's got the cool look and the flash to get noticed out here in the ring, but fundamentally that's a nice calf as well. So with that being said, a young lady speech round steer is going to be the Reserve Supreme. That's a nice calf.
Congratulations, McKinley Boyk. She is the reserve champion, market beaten. The next thing we're going to do is rate a gain. If the kids could just come to the ring, they don't have to bring their animals, just the kids come to the ring, that would be fine. So we need Katie Johnson, Jada Youngkin. We're going to do rate of gain, so if Katie Johnson, Jada Youngkin, Brody Nissen, Reagan Robinson, Landon Nissen, Kayla Youngkin, Scarlett Nissen, Reese Anderson, and Leo Shaven, please just come to the ring yourself. You do not have to bring your animal. Please come to the ring to do the beef rate of gain.
Today. Really appreciate the crowd stopping by, taking time out of their day. Want to make some announcements here. All exhibitors, please make sure you have your yellow cards for the support auction in for tomorrow afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, if you're not familiar with that, we run a support auction tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 here in the ring. We will have a provided meal. We try to support all these young exhibitors and all the work that they do throughout the year. So we support, give support dollars, try to help them show our support for what they've done for the year and all the hard work. So if you make tomorrow afternoon, 5:30, support auction for all these young individuals, all the different classes and categories of market animals. And on that, I think we need to take a round of applause for everybody that's helping here today. The fair takes a pile of work, so all the ring help, gate help, extension, fair board, their countless hours, judge, kids and their families. So I think just a round of applause for everybody that makes this thing happen. Really love to see it. Thank you everybody that takes part of it.
Okay, so the gals are going to take out the ribbons and banners for rate of gain. So starting in 10th place with a rate of gain of 2.7 pounds, we had Leo Shaven. In 9th place, we had Reese Anderson with a rate of gain of 2.7 as well. In 8th place, we had Scarlett Nissen with a rate of gain of 2.74. In 7th place, we had Kayla Youngkin with a rate of gain of 2.83. In 6th place, we had Landon Nissen, and also in 5th place, we had Landon Nissen, both with rates of gain of 2.86. In 4th place, we had Reagan Robinson with a rate of gain of 2.89. In 3rd place, we had Brody Nissen with a rate of gain of 2.94. In 2nd place, so your reserve champion rate of gain was Jada Youngkin with a rate of gain of 3.14. And your champion rate of gain was Katie Johnson with a rate of gain of 3.31. So please give these exhibitors a round of applause. Thank you. Now we're going to be getting started with showmanship. So the senior showmanship class is first. Okay, first in the ring for senior showmanship is Landon Nissen. Next we have Kendra Robinson. And then we have Henry Shaben. And then we have Reese Anderson. We have a few more trying to make their way. Yep. Okay, now we have Lillian Nicholson. And then we have Jada Youngkin. And we have Katie Johnson. Okay, I think that looks like that is our senior showmanship class. Just a reminder, showmanship, what that is now the judge is more judging the exhibitor and how well they handle their animal and everything. So instead of judging the animal, now they're looking more at the exhibitor and how well they're doing and exhibiting the animal. After senior showmanship, we'll do intermediate, and then we will do junior, and then we'll select an overall showman, and that will conclude the market beef show. So thank you all for being here today. Please stick around to watch the rest of showmanship if you can. And thank you to our judge today, Cade Bracker. He was here helping from Kansas, originally from Underwood. And then also thank you to all the ring help. If you can tell apart the two guys in the middle of the ring, good job, because I can't ever tell them apart, so. Okay, well yeah, Carol knows because that's her husband, so. And we have Larry here. Larry's been at all the livestock shows helping out, so thank you, Larry. And in the weigh-ins and everything, and then thank you all for being here to support the exhibitors. It really means a lot to see all the faces in the crowd today. And then thank you to Brenda over here. She's been running the gate too for us. And thank you to the gals here that have been handing out the banners and the ribbons today. And our superintendent is Tyler Muller. Thank you to him too for volunteering his time to help us do this and put on a good show. I don't know where he went, but he's been around, so thank you. I have been notified by Terry Tornaton that he is taking championship pictures over by the photo wall south of the show ring here. So if you want a picture, please get one of those after the show here. So Terry Tornaton is over there taking pictures by the picture wall.
A really competitive group of senior showmen out here, and back home when I was growing up showing, and my nieces get into showing age, and as my daughters are get old enough to show, showmanship was always a real big thing in our house, and it always will be. Just making sure not only that to get out and compete in showmanship, but showmanship during a show is so important, because just making sure that you get your calf set up and dialed in to the best of its ability, and you understand where its flaws are and understand where its good points are, can really change the dynamics of a show, and can potentially win you classes or get you stuck in the middle of the line, or however it ends up. But showmanship is a really huge thing, and also just growing up with showmanship, I didn't know if I really had the calf during the show to get it out, go out and get it done. But I had a lot of confidence and knew that I had done the work at home to go out and try and get at least a banner in showmanship. So I think that's something that's always really important to pay attention to. At this age, I think there's a lot of things that are really important. First and foremost, getting that calf set up efficiently and dialed in really quickly, so I don't have to watch you kind of fumble around with the setting up legs and all those things. Besides that, just ring presence and ring awareness, making sure you know where I'm at and where everyone else is at in comparison to you, and making sure you've got your calf in the right spot. I also had all these exhibitors circle their calves around. That's something that I always do in showmanship, because I am a bit of a stickler for a lot of these things in showmanship, and I think it's really important that when you circle your calf that you take an efficient circle, not a big huge circle all the way around here out to the edge. Take an efficient circle that's big enough for your calf to comfortably turn around and take strides, but not so big that it takes you forever to get it done. And then when you get done with that circle, your calf should be right back in line where you pulled it out of. Because you'll see it in the final drives at a lot of shows. These rings get pretty crowded, and then all of a sudden the ring keeps getting smaller when these cattle start working their way off the rail. So those are some things that are important to me. in terms of showmanship. I think there's a few exhibitors that do a really good job at those things. So with that being said, I'll go out and pick your top two, and let's give these young people a round of applause, please.
Congratulations, Kendra Robinson. She's the champion senior showman. And reserve champion senior showman went to Landon Nissen. Let's give a round of applause to all these exhibitors. Next we'll be doing intermediate showmanship. And I believe we only have one. And that's Brody, but he's going to come out here and give us a good show, okay? Okay, so we have Brody Nissen, and he is going to be in the intermediate showmanship class. Not to take away from this kid though, he is always here in the ring. He's been doing this for several years and he's a great showman, so he can show us his stuff right now.
Following the show, we will have Calvin's put on a carcass challenge for the pen of threes. They're over here alongside the barn. We have scan data done by Shelby Vet Clinic on the weigh-ins. We get that data back on ribeye, marbling, total carcass yield. So immediately following the show, we will have that data presented, and we will present the winners of those different categories with some cash prizes. That'll be immediately following the show. In this show ring, we'll set the presentation. Anybody can stop by and see that program. It's really good over the kids, just some support. So that'll be immediately following the show. Thank you.
I'd like to thank this young man for coming out here and still participating in showmanship. He's brought us some good cattle out here all day, and they've all obviously been well taken care of for at home, and the hard work in terms of skin and hair done at home, and I think that's really important. He does a great job showing out here, and definitely could have stood some competition. I'm not a fan of asking a lot of questions during showmanship. I think it's a showmanship contest, not a quiz bowl, but since he was the only one out here, I had a little fun with him, and I asked him how many steers were born in the state of Iowa last year, and he said 25,000. and there were 0 steers because they were all born bulls. But thanks for being a good sport. It's great to have them out here. Let's give them a round of applause, please.
Congrats, Brody Nissen. He is your champion intermediate showman. Now we're going to have the junior showmanship class. So first in the ring, we're going to have whoever wants to come out here first can go. Okay, we have Linda Arkfeld. And then we have Reagan Robinson, Kayla Youngkin, Marianne Jewell, Scarlett Nissen, Leo Shaven, and then McKinley Boyd. So this is our junior showmanship class. Following the selection of this, we'll bring back, oh, sorry, Declan is also in this, Declan Nicholson. Following the selection of the junior showmanship, we'll be doing an overall showman, so the senior and intermediates will come back into the ring as well for an overall showmanship.
let's give these young exhibitors a round of applause. Some things that I'm looking for at this age level is just making sure you've got control of your calf and you know how to get that calf set up as efficiently as possible. And then past that, we start to look at some of the other things that we look in some of the older divisions, as far as just making sure that they're appropriately spaced, they've got control, they know where everyone else is at in comparison to them, and make sure we're keeping space and good sportsmanship and all that, those things. But also cattle are, they're livestock, they're animals, they're going to act up and do certain things like we just saw here, and that happens, and that's okay. It's just making sure that we keep our composure, we don't get angry or frustrated, or if we are, don't let that show, and we just keep working with them and keep showing and keep our composure, and that's the best thing that we can do in those situations. Just a piece of advice is you all kind of go through your junior careers and showing cattle and all those things. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and the best way to learn is to go out and find somebody that's having success. So find some of these older exhibitors that did well here today, or if you're at other shows, watch and study how all the other successful showmen exhibit their cattle and some things that they do and tips and tricks and how they use their hands and control their cattle, because that's the easiest way to learn and the easiest way to pick up tips in terms of everything. So don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to keep learning. So with that being said, I think there's a few exhibitors that do a great job of getting their cattle set up, and they've got control of them, and they're confident out here, and they've got a good handle on this deal. So with that being said, give these young people a big round of applause. I'll go get you a champion or reserve gentleman.
Congratulations, Reagan Robinson, your champion, junior showman. And your reserve champion, junior showman, is McKinley Boyd. Okay, so now, after these guys exit the ring, we will bring in the senior and intermediate classes so we can do an overall market beef showman. Okay, so for the senior division, we had Kendra Robinson was your senior showman champion. And then we had Bernie Nissen was your intermediate. And then Reagan Robinson was your junior. And then reserve and senior, you had Landon Nissen. And then Birdie was our only intermediate. And then we had, from the junior, we had McKinley Boyd. So this is for overall market beef showmanship. if you didn't hear the announcement earlier, Terry Tornay is taking pictures of champions at the picture wall. So please, if you had a champion to reserve, please get your picture taken by the nice new picture wall that we have over there. This will be the last thing of the 2025 Market Beef Show, so this will be for overall champion showman. And then following this today, they're going to give out the awards for the Market Pin of 3 for the cattleman and the carcass status. So if you were involved with that, please stick around after the show to receive that information. And just a reminder, tomorrow night at 5 o'clock is the support auction. So that would be for any of the livestock animals that are coming back for the support auction. So if you can make it tomorrow night to support them, that would be great.
One last time before I go get your last champions of the day, thank you again for having me out here. This has been an absolute pleasure. I always love coming back on to Iowa and getting to sort through some cattle and judge showmanship. So thank you for that. Thank you to my ring help for keeping everything running smooth and all those things. And again, thank you all for, as a community and family members and all that, for supporting these kids and keeping them involved in show cattle and livestock in general. It's so important that we have good, confident young people entering into the workforce and getting some experience at this level, because we need more young people in agriculture and at all levels. So with that being said, I think it's really important again to mention the quality of the exhibitors that we've had out here today. They've all been polite, very easy to work with, and some great showmen out here as well. Again, if you're standing along ringside or a young person that's getting into showing or any of those things, take every opportunity you can to ask questions and to learn. And if there's a jackpot, load them up and go to it. Or even if you don't take cattle, just go and watch for an afternoon, or run up to the Iowa Beef Expo in the winter, or just take any opportunity you can, because going and experiencing those things and learning and watching will do you a lot of good if this is where you want to compete at. So with that being said, again a great group of showmen out here. There's two that really sort to the top for me. They've brought their A game here all day, done a really good job of presenting their cattle. So with that being said, let's give them a big round of applause. I'll get you a Supreme Showman.
Congratulations, Kendra Robinson. She's your overall Market Beef Showman. And your reserve overall Market Beef Showman went to Landon Nissen. So let's give them one more round of applause, please. Okay, that concludes our Market Beef Show. Thank you to Cade Bracker for being our judge today, and thank you all for coming and supporting the kids.